In the mind.
This probably won't work, but I'll give it a try. My new patented knee cam. If all works out, this is the beginning of a new series of videos. So this is kind of a on-the-fly type thing right now. Just gonna see if I can make it happen. Alright, so we got see, some people did their flame like that. Well, like that, kissing, like that, I don't mind. Much softer. Gives a nice amount of heat. Kind of hope this can be seen. That champagne color. It's right there, that's too soft. Give it a little, there we go. Spread a little bit. Braze this spot right here because I got to pull it back to put the insul tube back down. Alright, go ahead and continue this on. Okay, got the insul tube slid on there. Okay. Didn't show us earlier, but these little guys, shutter valves, were up inside of, these. Basically stops refrigerant from leaking back out. Got those pulled out so that they don't melt. This little guy right here. Can you see that very well, can you? Just basically a valve core remover, more or less. It's pulled back over here. That's really the gist of it. It's better to actually run nitrogen to the line so it helps purge it, but I don't like doing that completely at times, especially like right now it's already brazed in on the inside. So the TXV has the risk of being stopped up by the soot that blow through. That's really about the gist of it. Alright. Hopefully I can get this on video very decently anyways. Probably not. There we go, that should work. I'll explain this the same way I explained to everyone else. Okay. Got these extra 2 wires here. It's basically just a thermal switch. Okay. Reversing valve, which is basically what controls it from going between heat and cool, with train systems, when it's energized, when it gets power to it, that's when it runs in cool. Common, otherwise ground. Defrost, 24 volt power, compressor. That's what I do. I take the defrost on one side of the switch and wire it into my heat wire from my thermostat, or actually it goes back to the heat strips. I have to give them a nice little spin. Okay, and then I get out of there, you. This right here is my auxiliary for my thermostat, and it goes to the other side of the switch. I'll explain that all here in just a minute. Okay, common, which, which we use black, other people use blue, Train uses blue, most manufacturers use blue. Think of it like a negative. Okay, orange for our reversing valve. Oh, and the camera fell. Fix it here in just a second. Let's see what we can do here to make this work. Like I said, this is an on-the-fly idea. It's only going to work so well. Compressor. And they're 24 volt power, which really is only needed for sending power back whenever it goes to run. It switches the reversing valve over to put it in AC, and then sends a signal back on the heat wire, basically the defrost wire as I call it, to turn on the heat strips. Because whenever this thing goes to defrost in the winter, it turns on the AC inside. Basically runs cool air inside, so it has to have the heat strips to cancel it back out. Got this little guy right here. It's required by code now. Basically, you can't really see it very well here, but it's temperatures. We run it just below 40, somewhere between 35 to 40. For basically what it is on the thermostat, if you bump it down, I think it's 3 or 5 degrees higher than what it is inside the house, it'll try to kick on the auxiliary heat. Well, we run the auxiliary heat signal out here, and if it's not below 40 degrees out here, it won't turn the heat strips on, basically to save energy. If it is, it goes ahead and clicks and goes back to run the defrost, which basically turns on the heat strips. Got my Schrader valves all put back in. Got my gauges hooked up to the nitrogen bottle, and she's been holding a little over 200 psi for the last 30 minutes. Hasn't moved any, selfie bubbled all my joints. I got no leaks, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and let her out the nitrogen and go ahead and get her on the vacuum pump. And as you can see, she's dropping.